it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. It's an absolute mess. I'm not shouting because there is a need for me to shout. All of my family's sleeping. I'm not even in my room. It's a mess. It is an absolute mess. Now, you may go, well, it's too early to call it a mess. 3 games have gone. The season starts at game week 1. The season doesn't start when we want it to start. Season starts when the game week 1 kicks off. The season doesn't start when we want it to click. The season had to start against Salernitana, and it started with a draw. The team had to get 3 points against Salernitana, 3 points against Verona, and now we look back at this beginning into the first international break, and we are in the relegation zone. We're in the relegation zone with 1 point. You see, the first thing which I want to do, because real fans need to do this, is congratulate Milan. Because I could go here and speak about Milan playing dirty games, they won because they got a penalty. No, real fans will congratulate Milan. Milan are 7 categories better than us, ladies and gentlemen. Milan are another category. We are at Fiorentina's level if it's good. Milan are another category. Milan are another universe. Have you seen the way they play? Have you seen the cohesion of their own players? Compare it to our team and ask yourselves a few questions. Milan, Napoli, and Inter are another category. Juventus is close to that category. We're not getting top 4. We're not getting top 4. This is yet another season where the objective has to be to get top 4, but we are not going to get top 4. Because a team which needs to get top 4 does not get 1 point after 3 games. A team which needs to get top 4 doesn't lose points against Salernitana and Verona. A team which has to get top 4 doesn't get annihilated and doesn't shoot once in a big game against a direct rival. And most importantly, a team which needs to get top 4 has to be an organized team. Has to be a team which knows what they're going to do on that football field. Something which we do not know. We do not know what we do with the ball. We step up in that pitch and we have 0 ideas. We lack creativity. We lack ideas. We lack attack. We don't take risks. We lack that courage. I swear on God, I've left the stadium 10 minutes before the end, so I didn't see Spinazzola's goal. I swear on God that in 80 minutes which I've seen at the stadium today, Magnan didn't touch the ball with his hands once. And you may think I'm exaggerating here. If you think I'm exaggerating here, go back and watch the game. Magnan didn't touch the ball with his hands once. How are we supposed to challenge a direct rival if we play like this? Again, you look at this game and you ask yourself a big question. And this big question is a question which our manager needs to ask himself. This question is, where do these tactics bring us? Where do they bring us? Because it is 2 seasons now, in fact, I'd say 3 seasons, that we do not win a big game. And not only we don't win big games, but we don't play in big games. We just sit back and park the bus. Where are these tactics intended to bring us? Because if these tactics are intended to bring us in top four, then I think there's a miscalculation. And this is something which the manager needs to realize. You know, I've said it many times, Jose is a god in this city. But the one thing which I won't miss when he leaves is fucking tactics. We don't play football. We don't play football. You can't call this football. So, after this game, which is yet another performance against a big team, where we were literally invisible, something needs to change. And this thing won't change. We are all aware of this. This something won't change. We will continue to play like this. But we cannot think that playing like this will give the desired results. You know, we don't take risks. We don't infiltrate the ball. All we do, 70% of the game, all we do is back passes. There are better organised teams than us. Look at Milan today. The way they circulate the ball, the way they launch Leao and he runs on his wing, the way Pulisic dribbles his men, the way they infiltrate each other, the way Teo Hernandez runs and becomes an offensive fullback with Leao. It is impossible to get top four with these tactics, because there are teams. You see, what I'm trying to say here is this: we're not in the 1990s, 1980s anymore. These tactics are useless. These tactics are useless. Because teams like Milan, teams like Napoli, teams like Inter, teams like Lazio, teams like Juventus all know how to beat these tactics. And therefore you never win big games and always drop back down and will never get top four. So, tactic-wise, we are depressing to watch. Absolutely depressing. And then you go, okay, let's forget about the league and let's go all out in Europa League, which is correct. This is what we've got to do right now because top four is impossible. But again, let's say we aren't lucky for once in a group stage draw or in a playoff draw, and we play against a Premier League side. Premier League sides will absolutely humiliate us if we play with these tactics. You know, let's say that we get first in the group stage, and in the round of 16 we get Brighton. How do we think that we can beat Brighton with these tactics? Teams evolve. Tactics evolve. Tactics change. Football changes. These tactics were good 30 years ago. They aren't good now anymore. So they have to change. But again, I've said this already, they will not change because it is very hard for a team to change the way to change their DNA. Effectively, changing tactics is changing the identity of a team, something which will not happen. And it's also a big risk because if you change identity now, there's going to be a gap, there's going to be a space of time where you're going to leave the identity you currently have and you're in search for a new one. And in that period of time, we will look clueless, even more than what we are now. So, these tactics have to go. Full stop. Full stop. Another thing is injuries. Because you see, one thing is if one player gets injured every 2 months. And another thing is if a player gets injured in every game. I mean, how do we think that we can go forward if every game we play we lose one player? And this is obviously unlucky. Yes, we're unlucky, but we're also stupid. Because we can't complain about injury crisis if in the transfer window we buy injury prone players. It's like you can't cook, but you want to eat good food. But learn how to cook. Well, exactly this. If you don't want injury players, stop buying them. So, Awar getting injured, Dybala getting injured, all of these players getting injured doesn't help. I'm just lost. I'm just lost because I was not expecting such a bad start to the season. And you see, as you can probably tell, it's not the fact that we've lost this game which hurts. Because at the end of the day, as I said at the start, Milan are a different category. Losing this team is normal. Losing this game is normal. The problem is a different problem. One thing is losing a game, and one thing is losing a game while being invisible. And the other problem isn't this game. The other problem is losing against Verona or losing points against Salernitana. We are in a relegation zone, not because of this game, because of the two prior games, which were appalling. All of these 3 games have been appalling. Well, now we've got an international break where I'm expecting changes. I'm expecting... And no. The thing which makes me mad about today's game is not the result. The thing which makes me mad about this game is this. There are people who don't have the fortune to go to the stadium every weekend. There are families which want to surprise their own kids and bring them to the stadium. There are families which sacrifice their monthly pay to pay these tickets, and these tickets aren't cheap. I have a season ticket. I'm a season ticket holder, but I know people who paid $75 to watch this single game. There are people which, don't get money from trees. There are people which will sacrifice their monthly pay to make their children happy, to make their own families happy. And yet, what do they get rewarded? With a performance where we never shoot on target. A performance where all we see is back passes. A performance which gave us the impression that we don't want to fight. Gave us the impression that we're still on holiday. A performance which confirms that we aren't fit enough. Because if last season the tactics were these, at least last season it looks like we were fit. This season, a player starts sprinting for 10 seconds. He looks dead after that. You see, there are people which pay a lot of money to watch these games, and then they watch this shit. They watch this absolute dog shit. And that's not good enough. That's unacceptable. With that being said, top 4 is gone. Top 4 is gone. Top 4 is gone. Because, first of all, because Milan, Napoli and Inter and Juventus are all better than you. And another reason why we're not going to get top 4 is because we already have a mountain to escalate. Milan have 9 points. We have 1 point. That means Milan needs to drop 8 points. And we need to get 8 points. It's not going to happen. Top 4 is gone. And if top 4 last season we understood that top 4 was gone 2 months before the season ended, this season we understood that top 4 is gone 3 weeks into the season, which is unacceptable. But now that we've understood that top 4 it's not going to happen, and yet again we're going to miss out on Champions League football, I'm going to say this out loud: go all in Europa League. Which are decisions which you make at the end of the season, because with the amount of money that these players get paid, you would expect them to, play well on every front. But no, absolutely not. Top four via the league is gone. Gone. But yeah, look, I mean, we could go on forever here, speak about all the sad realities of this game, something which I'm not planning to do. Um, and again, I think in order, because we gotta say this, um, decisions once again are poor. Decisions once again are poor because where is Ndika? I don't care if Mourinho likes Ndika or not. Ndika's never started. So if Mourinho based his judgment on Ndika just because he trained for 1 month, it's wrong. It's morally wrong for the player himself and for the logic of football. And then the other pick, which I will never get, is why Chillic started this game. You see, sometimes we gotta be true. Sometimes we have to face the sad reality and say truthful things. Chillic is shit. Did this statement offend some people? I don't care. Because sometimes you gotta be real. I've been saying Chillic is the worst fullback we have. Chillic is the worst fullback we have. Karsdorp is by far the best fullback we have. Why did Chillic start this game? The second goal we conceded, fair play to Leao, incredible goal. Chillic just allowed him to just lay on him. Imagine this chair is Chillic. Chillic allowed Leao to literally go like this. Is that normal? Is that normal? You get paid 5 million. You get paid what? You get paid 3 million each season. Is that normal? You're a professional player. So, another thing which needs to change about the mentality of us Roma fans is this. Let's stop avoiding to say, oh no, we shouldn't say that Chillic is shit because that can create a bad influence to the game, or no, I can't say Chillic is shit because I like him as a player. Let's all be real and let's say the things which have to be said. Chillic is shit. Spinazzola's shit. Cristante in these past few games has been shit. I will say it myself. And I'm somebody who likes Cristante. Let's all be real sometimes. Rui Patricio's shit. Let's say it. Let's say it out loud. Oh no, but Rui Patricio, you can't always blame Rui Patricio if his defence in front of him is terrible. He's shit. He's shit. There is no need to defend him. There is no need to say, oh no, Rui Patricio could have done better there. Rui Patricio. Rui Patricio once again has cost us a game with that penalty. Sometimes you gotta say the truth here. Sometimes we have to say the situation of real things instead of always sitting on the chair, instead of always defending these players. Why do we need to defend them? These players are in 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, 6 million each year. There is no need to defend these players. Chillic, I mean, to say that Chillic did a good job, mate, is appalling. Chillic is terrible. And to say he played a good game is, I just don't get it. I just don't get how people can say Chillic played a good game. Anyways, I'm not going to drag this any further because I've said everything. Bring this international break on. It's my birthday next weekend. I am so glad we're not playing so they can't ruin my birthday. And yeah, I mean, this international break is going to come very handy because a lot of these players will definitely stay behind. A lot of these players will need to just get a two week full immersion of tactics and stuff. So look, yeah, we've got a long way to go. Europa League still hasn't started, but the way we started this season, I just can't find a way out. I really cannot find a way out. Anyways, I am going to catch you tomorrow. If you haven't already, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm not gonna post a match vlog because, again, lads and lasses, I know you like these match vlogs, but there is nothing that I filmed entertaining in that match vlog, so I'm not gonna post it. And I'm gonna save you a match vlog. But anyways, I'm gonna catch you tomorrow. Let's all stay united in this very complicated moment. Yeah, I'll be very curious to see what these players, manager has to say after this game. You see, another thing which I want after this match is we have a tendency of not speaking after we lose games, which is very wrong. And this is a message to this policy which we've adopted, which is when we lose games, we have this tendency of not going live for newspapers and speak, which is very wrong, because it's in these games, it's after these games which you get to speak more than after you win. So I think, again, I haven't opened the TV, so I haven't turned it on, so I don't know if anyone spoke or not. But these are the games where we have to speak. This is the game where Mourinho needs to speak. This isn't the time to just avoid speaking live, because the fans need explanations after this terrible start, after this woeful start. Anyways, I'm gonna catch you tomorrow. Talk to you soon. See you out.